Grutzel!
Hello, kittens, and welcome back to my channel. Did you guys like the little intro that I made? Yeah, it's a little different. I decided to do like a bit of my Sims play before I did this house. Um, I know lately I've been doing a lot of like acoustic builds, countryside builds, but I wanted to do a bit of modern builds, and this house is very uniquely shaped. And I decided, you know what? What can I do to make this house pretty but keep the shape of it without really changing anything? So no, I didn't break any walls down or add any walls. or at least that I don't remember. I built this build a minute ago before I restarted it, and before I edited it. I have a bunch of previous builds that are going to be coming out today, so stay tuned. And I'm going to continue more. I did say in my last video, if you haven't watched, I'll say it in this video as well. I know I have taken a break. It's been a minute since I last posted that because I wasn't busy. I was just lazy. I'm just going to be real with you. But I need to stop being lazy and really post on here consistently because I love doing this. I truly do. And I kind of do want to make a career out of this. And maybe one day, let's manifest this. I'll work for the Sims company because I am a huge fan of The Sims. Before The Sims, I was playing Barbies. And then I was like, you know what? I'm tired of cleaning up my Barbies. I'm gonna start playing The Sims and just save and delete. And honestly, I wish that I could go back in time, like technology was like enhanced like like it is now, that I could literally like look back at my like old plays and be like, oh my gosh, I was like 11 years old when I did this. And like I don't even remember like exactly how I built my very first house. I did remember like where I placed it because I would always placed it there, and I would try to build a home, and it was so tacky looking. Maybe I could try to recreate that moment and literally just based off memory because to be honest with you, I don't really remember and I don't have any pictures. I do have a very old computer, but I lost the charger that connects to that computer. So unfortunately, until I either find or buy another one, maybe I can check on Facebook Market that like a charger that goes to that computer, I won't be able to open that computer and see my old builds, unfortunately. But until then, I will go based on memory of how I used to build. I remember I would always like have a blue house, and my couch would always be red. I don't know why. That's the one thing I really remember because I just kept building it over and over again. Anyways, it's not about my old builds, it's about this video. So with this video, um I did added a bit of a Sims play as you saw in the very beginning because prior I want to learn to kind of do more film sims or like just play sims instead of just doing builds because I feel like Sims 3 is slowly like I'm actually no, I Sims 3 is slowly getting back its flowers because I know Sims 4 has been taking over, and I'm not a huge fan of Sims 4 if you want me to be quite honest with you. Maybe because I'm just used to like the freedom I have in Sims 3, but I'm just not a fan of it. And I know Sims 4 is kind of based off like Sims 1 and 2, but I just miss the freedom. I feel like Sims 4 is like a complete downgrade from Sims 3, in my opinion. Not to say that it's a horrible game. I've seen people play it and it seems interesting, but I'm on to be honest, it's still a downgrade because Sims 2 is, even though it's kind of similar, like Sims 2, you just kind of play within the household. You don't even go anywhere like you can in Sims 4. But in Sims 2, there's so much going on that is still very much so entertaining. Oh my gosh, I need to focus on the video. I'm going so off topic, but this is a very long video, so you know what? Let me rant. Let me talk my talk. But I had a lot of fun building this house. I was really thinking like what I wanted to do with this kitchen because it's such a big kitchen, and I kind of wanted to like utilize the space. I already have like a dining room area, and it's like, do I have two dining rooms? And I know some big houses they do have two dining rooms, like the one where you know you only have for special occasions or just to look at. I never got that. Have y'all ever had family homes where like you have a room that nobody enters because it's solely just a room to look at? It's literally like the nice room and nobody goes in there and messes it up, so you just don't go in there. Like, not even your parents or family goes in there. It's just solely just to look at. I never got that. And to be honest, why would I buy a space that I can't even enter myself because I just want to look at it? No, I'm going to enjoy it. So if it's going to look nice, it's going to look nice everywhere. You know what I mean? But I get why they did it because, you know, having kids mess up a lot of expensive stuff. But if you don't have any kids, or even if you have kids and that's what you want to do, like you only got one life, girl, live it, okay? Go to Facebook Market, replace it. Anyway, so I just decided, okay, I'll put like a little dining room, like a lounge chair. They're probably eating here. I'm not gonna lie, it's not usable for my Sims. Like it's not like they could sit there. I mean, they probably could, but it's not like they could sit there and eat. So they use the one that I put off to the side. Here, I'm creating an office space. I did not leave it like that. It's 10 times better than what you see. Um, but you do see it in the beginning how I built the house anyways. It's just going to show you how I did it unless you want to follow along and copy me. And if you guys have any info on how to uh download my homes, like let me know because I want to be able to like put my homes out there for other people that like my builds and don't want to build them themselves and just want to download it. I'm like, okay, you can download my home. Like I don't care. Go ahead, have fun with it, and I'll tell you where I put it, where the lot is, the size, etc. All the details on there. So if you guys know, oh my god, I have not been yawning. I have not been yawning literally all this morning. And as soon as I start opening my mouth, I want to yawn. Even I'm tired of myself. I'm bored of myself. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, this is a three people household. So there is a mom and a dad and a daughter. I was building her room. This house is very unique because each rooms are separated from the house. You have to once you go upstairs, like you have to go outside and you go outside to go to one bedroom, you go outside to go to another bedroom, and they each have their own bathroom. But if you want to use a community area like kitchen or entertainment, watching TV, I mean, they all have their own TVs. It's kind of like you're having your own like mini apartment. But like if you want to like cook and stuff like that or like just communicate with people, you go downstairs, you have a shared space for that. So I kind of like how this home is built. I'm not gonna lie, even though it is just The Sims, I'm kind of jelly. Like I wish I kind of grew up like that, where it's like my room kind of feels like its own little apartment. Um, in a little space and I just don't really have to go out unless I'm hungry. Heck, I can even get me a mini fridge if I wanted to and really not go out even when I'm hungry, but I'm poor. So I have to share everything, okay? Even bathrooms. Ugh. Anyways, that won't be for long. That won't be for long. I won't be poor for long, okay? Manifest be rich. I'm just rambling at this point. But anyways, moving on, when it came to this bedroom, I had a really hard time figuring out, as you can see, like what I wanted to do with this bedroom because it was really big and it's like there's only so much to do with such a big space in a bedroom. And I'm pretty sure other people would have been like, "Oh, you didn't know what to do with this space? Girl, hand me that." But I genuinely didn't know what to do with the space and I didn't want to add a fireplace. So I think that's what kind of made it even harder for me because I added one anyways. But I didn't want to add a fireplace that like extended like above the roof because it's such a modern build. Um I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. I take back what I said. Okay. And I could have added like a really like walk-in closet in this room. Girl. I'm not editing any of this out, okay? You're just gonna hear me yawn, okay? I don't know why I'm yawning. And anyways, back to the room. I tend to go with a lot of dark colors, so I kind of added more colors to this room as well, just to kind of like get away from trying to do dark colors all the time. I not gonna lie, this is not my favorite room, but it's not the ugliest room that I have. I was thinking if I could either add a bar in here. I'm not sure if I did or not, to be honest, because I don't remember what I did afterwards. All I was thinking was how to fill in this space, but also like kind of give it space. Because a lot of rich people, if you visited rich homes or if you have any like friends with money or if you got money, or your family does, most of these rooms are very empty. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like rich people, unless they pay for an interior designer, and if they don't know how to design their own homes. It just be looking like I'd be like, my house has more than what you got. Is this just did y'all just buy the house for the house? Because that's what it's looking like. Like y'all could afford the house, and that was pretty much it. Because why you got a mattress on the floor and you live in a mansion? Let's talk about that. So okay, it's not to say their mattress was on the floor, but their home was so like empty, like to the point where it's like at this point, like, is it even worth the payments that you have to put on in this house? Because like it doesn't even look like y'all live here. Like it looks like y'all like squat here. It's so plain. There was literally not even like family photos. I'm talking about my own experience, okay? Like I've been through a couple. And it's not even like they had family photos on the wall. Like I'm telling you, that house is so empty. And literally the only house that they had that wasn't empty was that, like I said earlier, that one room that like is super fancy and nobody goes into. And it was the dining room. They had that dining room and then they had their regular room where they just eat and stuff like that. And it's not to say that their house wasn't furnished and you would think, oh my gosh, Leo, well, maybe they moved in the house. No, they've been there for like I think like 2 years or 3 years. Like they were already like in there established for a minute and their house looked like that. And I'm just like, okay, you got a couch and a TV. Like it doesn't even look like, are y'all moving? No? Okay. It was empty. Okay. It was empty and there was just random just things placed everywhere. I could tell it just wasn't thought of. I don't know. Personally, for me, if you have all that money to afford to live in a mansion or even a mini mansion, I feel like you should be able to afford an interior designer to make your home look like a home, like, and not look like a trap house. Yeah. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, don't just, say that based on one home you saw. No, I saw multiple. I saw multiple, so it's like multiple homes like that, and I'm just kind of like disappointed. Like, if you had all that money, why your house look like that? So yeah, I was like, you know what? They live in a mansion, and I'm not gonna make their house look like that. And it's not to say all people in mansions like they don't have a house that like you got something to look at, but just I guess the ones that I've ran into, the homes that I was invited into, I was just like, well, your furniture, cuz. But anyways, getting back on topic with the video. Um, I wasn't gonna do that with this home that I was building. I wanted it to look like they lived here, that they're established here. Even if they are not, at home all the time, which as I build they are. But I made an office for the dad because he tends to work from home a lot. And then for the mom, I built like a clay thing in the garage. And I didn't really do much with the garage because like I don't think I don't think rich people do a lot with their garage. I mean, they just got cars after cars after cars. I need to stop yawning. I'm fighting it, guys. I really am fighting this yawn, but I don't know if your girl is. I'm not even tired. It's like 11 in the morning. Like, I'm not even tired. Anyways, came back in the video. Um, And also, I tried to like really add a lot of detail in here. I'm not gonna lie, like I've noticed in my previous builds, like sometimes I get in such a rush to like finish the build that like my even the house that I built, it looks very, very, very plain, unless it's meant to look that way. Like, but since I already had a family like moving in here or living in here, like I was like, you know what? I'm just go in detail or whatever. Or sometimes if I don't, I use a cheat so they can afford the house because like once I'm done with the house, like literally no one can afford here to live here unless they're like a bot sim and just like placed in here. But I already had a family living in here. And also, ignore this doggy space because as I was actually playing the game, the dog that I had could not even go under the stairs and use the space. Which you would think, huh, how is that the case? Because it seems like there's a lot of room. But it just he wouldn't be able to use the space. So I had to move it a little bit so the dog can like eat and like lay on the bed and stuff like that. So this is just for show. I'm just letting you guys know the functions if you're following along and building with me or have any ideas. Unfortunately, under the stairs is not going to work out. You can still place things under the stairs. It just Gear Sim just don't need a function for it, basically. I really like this dining room that I created. It was a lot of fun to do. Honestly, this house itself, I think I'm gonna pat myself on the back with this one. I think I did a wonderful job with this build. Um, I would live here. I would 100% live here if I wanted like a mansion or a house, but in real life, I just want a nice trailer. I just want a nice trailer home and that's it. Like, I'm not really interested in living in big houses, especially since it's just me. And I know a lot of people would be like, well, it doesn't have to be you. Invite your family. I already live with them. Why would I invite them over to my own home? Yeah, no. Like, it's just gonna be me. And then this is gonna be her pottery area. I tried to use a mod to like make this like an official like pottery spot, but the mod wasn't working, so I just kind of like I kept it there, but I try to make it, you know, as much as possible because to me like the mom is the artist, she likes to make stuff, work with clay, sculpture, and that's how she makes her money. But the dad is the breadwinner, so like by far. So um she still makes her money, okay? She ain't broke. But I would she be able to afford to live in this house on her own? Probably not. But she ain't broke though. Like it's probably something smaller, but it'll still be nice for sure. Okay, girl power. It's my storyline, anyway. And then with the kitchen, like I'm literally going based off like my experiences dealing with like being friends with or like relationships with people with money and but adding more detail, like somebody lived here. Like, say, like it was just plain, but I'm like, add a little pizzazz. What if you had an interior designer? Let me be your interior designer. So, yeah, I am the interior designer for this build. And moving on to the daughter's room. I liked her room. I'm not really a huge fan of like bright colors personally, or like all white kind of room. So I wouldn't say the room is all white because obviously there's some colors in here, but majority of her space is very like clean girl-esque, like like it's giving like I just took a everything shower before bed. If you get it, you get it. And I was like, you know what, let me just do that. So I used a lot like a light brighter colors for her room, even her bathroom. I got her makeup set, and hair, her own, since it's her own space, she can just do whatever with it. It's not like anybody's gonna share it with her. And then I added curtains for the bathroom because technically you can still see in her bathroom. Like I don't think you can necessarily like see as you're going up the stairs, but I feel like if you were like jumping up, you can like see into her bathroom, but it's her family. Um Added some art here. I did go back and like change the colors a little bit so it can all kind of be matchy matchy. But I kind of wanted to give the clean girl look, like everything bright. I didn't want to do too much. I like doing a lot with my rooms, but with this type of style, like you gotta have variety, okay? If you don't know how to do variety, how are you an interior designer? So yeah, even though this is not my personal style, it's not to say that I'm incapable of doing it, because clearly I can. To me personally, this is more easier than like doing something more unique. Like doing styles like this is super easy to me because I don't feel like I have to think too hard about it. And bright clean looks are just easier than like if you're doing like a dark aesthetic or if you're doing like a neon or a aesthetic with like that has a bunch of colors in it. Like the parents' room, like it's a little bit more like, okay, what works with this wallpaper? And I'm like, okay, maybe orange, yellow, this color, and it made the room pop. But is it my favorite room? No. Could be somebody else's favorite though, but it isn't mine. No, but it's not ugly. Like I still think it's kind of cute. And then moving on, I'm basically just adding detail and trying to make the space come to life, and trying to make the space less ugly. So, because like I said, I'm trying to convince myself that I love it. Don't you love it? I love it. Right? Okay, who we kidding? Anyways, moving on to the bathroom. I added just the slight details in here, not too much. And it's not to say that they don't use the bathroom. Of course they do. But like most people don't really care for like a design in the bathroom. It's just like I'm just coming here to pee, bathe, do what I gotta do, and go on about my day. Like I gotta like stare at it all the time. Some people do. Personally, I don't really think too hard on it. But yeah, I just was like, here, call it a day. I try to get myself to also like this bedroom again, so I added these lights and I liked it. Still wasn't my favorite room. I added like a lounge space since they had that. Like if they just want to relax, because I like that they had their own little like space outside the house and it still connects. So even if it rains, there's not gonna get any rain because they have a roof covered over them. But if it's really cold outside and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to step out my room to go downstairs, you're just going to have to. And they do have that open space. Um, so I guess like whatever weather it is outside, they are going to feel it in the house. Hey, we got money. That don't mean that we're like, it's about design, okay? And then I just added like little space, like a space for the mom stuff in the garage. And then I was like, I got all this big old space and no laundry. Like, so I added the laundry room in there for the maid to go like do laundry. I added a little golf course outside. I think I did end up adding like a little dining table too. Decorated the pool. Um, just in case they do have parties and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's all the details I really added in here. Not really much. I'm just rambling. I really am just rambling at this point. But anyways, this video is coming to an end. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more. Love y'all. Subscribe. Bye.